Okay, so we're going to learn a little bit the Komarna on Mishpatim. The Komarna speaks about Midvar Sheker Tirchak. So we all know, right, the famous Rav Zusha says, Midvar Sheker Tirchak. He says, when you speak Sheker, it distances you from Hashem. Right? You have to be very, very careful with Shkarim. Sometimes it's mutter, and you have to be very careful to know. There's a story of Shlomo Norbach. At one time, there was an older man, and this guy was, I don't know if I told the story, maybe not long ago, I don't remember, but this guy was in an accident, or he really wasn't well, and he went to the doctors. In Israel, everyone's like a little Hamish, like family, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's not so good. Mm-hmm. So, like, this guy's like 94, like, what, we're going to go treat him. Well, he's 94, what do you want from him? So it's like, for me, the 94, you're going to treat him. They're like, nah, what? I want to check him in. It was clear they weren't going to do anything for this guy anyway. He was having his troubles, he kept coming in. So Shlomo Zalman was like, this is not right. You can't send this hospital. Send to another hospital. The problem is he's on the computer, and the minute they check him, if people are not taking him. They don't care. They don't want to help him. So he told this asking, you have to find a way. So he brought him into the hospital. And the guy wasn't so clear, he wasn't so focused, he wasn't, well, whatever. He's like, I don't know, I found this older guy, he fell over, I don't know what to do, he has no identification. Okay, we'll check him in. They didn't look that old, and he was old, but they started dealing with him the way you should deal with him. So he told Shlomo Zalman, he was obviously very, very pleased of his really smart, it's pretty slick, right? Pretty smooth. Put him in there, and they didn't know who it is, so they couldn't make trouble, right? So Shlomo Zalman was not happy with him. And he said, you should not be happy for having been forced to speak a lie. You had to. It's pikuach nefesh. But that doesn't mean you're supposed to enjoy it. You don't get hana. This is something which it's like something we are so completely far from. It sounds like it's speaking Martian. It's like, whatever, the guy, hey, you're good at it, so smart. Like that. It's like, no, it's like a lie. It's not good. It's damaging. It's negative. It's very hard to get to this, like to bend your head around it. It distances you from Hashem. Hashem's close to his emes. So, of course, we all know there's a very important yesod about this. The Rebbunim said, he said, sometimes people are so straightforward, they're such straight shooters, as it were, and they like shoot people down. Like you're so straight, as it were, and you just have you have no bend for something, you have no flexibility. You kill people. Like, you're so absolute emes. It's not emes. You're not supposed to kill people. He said, there's nothing more crooked than a straight ladder, and nothing more straight than a crooked ladder. I guess in their times, things were built the way it was. You built the little ladder to the exact proportions of what you needed. So when you had a straight ladder, you couldn't get in. It was literally, the stuff was here, the stuff was there. The same thing. You think you're so straight, and you're not necessarily doing so wonderful. You're so unbelievable. Like it's not, there's emes and there's emes and there's emes. This is what. So that's very important. The Komarna says a few different things. He makes this point as well, that when you're far away from Hashem, that emes, when a person is sheker, he's in sheker, and he's very difficult, he's very distant. There's another thing that he speaks about as well. He says that, very important, he says, interesting, sheker, the letters are very close together. He brings from someone, I don't remember who, they're very close. And it's also Osius, it spells kesher as well, right? He said, but emes, letters are aleph and then tough. He said that's why in the kedusha it's harder to have achdus. In the kedusha it's very difficult to have achdus. He said in the klipa there's a lot of achdus. So the Beis Halevi said, someone asked the Beis Halevi, why are they so like get it together, the maskilim, and we're like goes, it doesn't go, where it's a little difficult. So he said they have the Yitzhahara on their side. We have the Yitzhahara against us. So it's like, kids. So there's something about the sheker. Somehow it's easier for people to get it together, to have more achdus in certain ways. Because again, it's also his kesher. Rav Nassan says that this comes from a very deep place. A person wants the emes, so then he's putting his emes on someone else's emes, and it's difficult. It's not so simple. But then there's like less. It doesn't. It's you don't want the absolute emes. Yeah, you want whatever. You have your goal. You ask. No, it's easier in a certain way. You want the emes, but then you can kill someone. I want the emes. My emes. Like, you have to be careful. Not put your emes on somebody else. So that's a very, very important yesod. This idea of being over Hashem and being able to connect to Him and being able to have achdus with other people, be positive. Not an easy thing. We have a big, it's also a story with Rabbi Leibel Rabbi Leibel, his father-in-law said, he became a chassid. He's like, I don't know how he became a chassid. He's like, I can't deal with these chassidim. He said, I go to the shtibel, I see people not dominating time, what they're doing, not learning. Like, wow. I go to my where I am, and like people learn, people daven. I don't understand the whole. I just don't get this whole business. So Leila said, I see exactly the same picture as you. He's like, so then why did you become a chassid? He's like, that's why, because you see what you want to see. He said, so if you're looking in your camp to correct errors and mistakes, so then you see all the bad things. And if you're looking at someone else's camp to see their positive, so you see their good things. And if it's the opposite, then it's the opposite. He said, but the purpose is to be able to look at the other Jew and to say, oh, this is good, everything's good. And your situation say, well, I really have to work on this, I really have to work on that. Be able to be able to see his positive, you see your negative. That's the right, the Rabbi Shimon, why you have two eyes, one eye to see your problems needed fixing, and one eye to see the other person's good. Of course, we have to see our own good also. You have to have a foundation of kedusha and good things. But the Indian here is this midvar sheker tirchak. You have to be distant from sheker, but you have to learn from the bechina of the achdus and be able to hold on to the achdus. You have to know that you are achdus anyway. It's very hard to remember this. The Ramak says we're all one. So if your finger hurts you, you don't hit the finger. It's like it's you. It's you. It's me. I don't hit the finger. It's part of me. It says every person we're all one bechina. So if you know that there's an achdus, like in the we say from the Tzemach Tzedek, he said b'haftarecha kamocha. He said how are you supposed to be b'haftarecha kamocha? He said in the Gashmish you're totally different. He said but in the Ruchnish you're one. You're one. In Ruchnish we're one. Right? In the Ramak also. He says you're an Avery. It's part of it's all every Shechina. It's all connected to Hashem. We're all the Am Hashem. It's all one. So there should be achdus. Again, the problem is people that want good things. They each have a different focus, a different thing they need to deal with. So the people it gets confused. It gets to be confusion. It gets to be confused. Okay. So that's a little bit of midvar sheker tirchak. And in general, it's very important to try as much as possible to speak the truth. We know the hardest thing when a person doesn't speak the truth is they don't speak the truth to themselves. They don't see the truth. They don't understand the truth. They're not really connected to truth. And there's many, many, many levels of truth. We have to be zocha as much as possible to live truly in a true, good way. And again, there are halachas about when you can not tell the truth. You can be mishana and this, but it's better, if at all possible, not to rely on it. At the very least, not to be in this place of like, oh, I'm so happy. Oh, put one over that one. I put one over this one. Some person, his whole life is about shit. It's like full of shkar. And he's convinced it's all sheker. It's like what? It's allowed. It's not allowed. It's not the way. If at all possible, that's not the way that it should go. Try our best to be emes, to realize that's the choson of Hashem, and to stay with the truth. Stay with Hashem. The Rebbe, of course, we're already on this topic, right? The Rebbe talks about the tzeratas l'teva, that emes, truth, shard you put me in darkness. If you speak a word of truth, you connect to Hashem. I would always say the story of the guy in the kotel. The guy's in the kotel. He says, I don't know if there's anything up there, but show me something. And then right away he gets like invited to yeshiva, to a Shabbos meal. It changes his life. And he's like, I don't even know what happened. He looks back like, I don't know. I didn't believe. Don't believe. I didn't know anything. I came from college. I came to visit Israel. I did kotel, a very holy place. Whatever. Put on this little paper on my head. And I was like, whatever. And then suddenly things happened like miraculous. Because he was speaking his emes according to his level. He spoke the truth. Emes has a power. So you just open up whatever your truth, and that makes everything happen. But you have to be very careful. Sheker is the opposite. Sheker is again, it's like it has no foundation. A person can be very, very confused. Like one of the hardest things in life is to try to be as much as possible real. It's very easy to be in a place where you're not real. Very easy to be not genuine, not authentic, not real. It's very difficult to work very hard to be honest, to be real, to get to Hashem emes, stay with Hashem emes. The Piazetza says to stay with Hashem emes one day. It's easier to learn Bahasmada many years than to actually just live with Hashem for one day, according to your level. Because it's a big effort. It's trying to remember Hashem and remember. When I do, it makes a difference. Everything matters. It's very not passion. Hashem shows me zocha to emes.